Hi everyone, and welcome to Loitering, the geek show's dedicated arts and books and all sorts of things like that podcast. My name's Rob, and joining me today is Andrew.
Hello.
Sarah.
Hello.
And nobody else. We have no Graham or anything like that because he's basically caught somewhere between the rift of worlds, because Christmas time is that magical time when people keep summoning people to do things for people, even though some people might be too ill to do them and might end up even more ill, like me. I hate
I mean, to be fair, some people might have also specifically mentioned in the Facebook chat, Rob, are you sure you're well enough to record a podcast?
I'm good enough to record a podcast. I'm not well enough to travel to Durham to sort out somebody's immigration crap.
Oh, it's like that.
Yes, it's like that. Yes, I'm playing favourites, and I'm happy about it. Anyway, today is the last episode that we've got for 2019. And what an episode we got.
Yes, because it's the most wonderful time of the year.
You've got to sing it. Andrew, you have to sing it.
It's the most wonderful time of
the year.
No, Sleazier. It has to be Sleazier.
What?
Ugh.
Yes, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Dun, dun, dun. With the juices are flowing, the members are growing. It's here. It's the Bad Sex Awards of the year.
Woo! Well improvised.
Why, thank you.
Oh, that was amazing. And I did not expect that at all. So, yeah, the Bad Sex Awards. And I'll be honest, I've been far too ill to even care about them, so I've not had a look at them. Sarah, have you glanced at them?
I've not seen them, no.
So we're completely in the dark here, Andrew.
Yep. Well, I mean, also, as is customary for me, I do not lay my eyes upon them until the day we record.
So...
But I've got the list in front of me. We have a bunch of runners-up and the winning entry. Shall I go through them?
Yes.
Okay, so let's start with our runners-up. First of all, we have from Mary Costello's The River Catcher. Mm-hmm. He clung to her, crying, then made love to her, and went far inside her, and she begged him to go deeper, and, no longer afraid of injuring her, he went deep in mind and body, among crowded organ cavities, past the contours of her lungs and liver.
What?
And shimmying past her heart.
What?
He felt her perfection. Jesus Christ already.
Oh my God.
What?
He sounds like he's fucking a Barbie doll or something. Literal, actual size Barbie doll.
I mean, what? I mean, what? How, what? No. Why?
I mean, my main confusion is even giving the premise of this. What kind of crazy loop-de-loop roller coaster is he riding that it goes inside the special garden, through to the lungs, then back down to the liver, and then up to the heart?
It's like
what sort of mad zigzag does he have?
I don't know. Maybe they're using the same physics as the magic bullet from Kennedy's assassination.
Yeah, just tangents off various organs, left, right, and centre.
You know, I would say that was distasteful, Rob, but really, we left taste at the door a long time ago. Like several words into the first paragraph of that,
yes,
we left good taste behind.
I mean, what? You're going to hear me say that a lot today.
Yeah, you are. Shall we move on to our next runner-up? Next up, we have from City of Girls by Elizabeth Gilbert.
She did Eat, Pray, Love?
She did.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and her girlfriend just recently died, didn't she? Yes, she did.
Oh, God damn it, Sarah.
I know, as preambles to sex goes. Not the most... Okay.
I mean, you're not the one who now has to read out this filth, but fine. Fine, we'll do it. Then I felt it. There was a sensation occurring here that I didn't even know could occur. It took the sharpest inhale of my life, and I'm not sure I let my breath out for another 10 minutes. I do feel that I lost the ability to see and hear for a while, and that something might have short-circuited my brain. Something that has probably never been fully fixed since. My whole being was astonished. I could hear myself making noises like an animal, and my legs were shaking uncontrollably.
Ooh.
Not that I was trying to control them, and my hands were gripping down so hard over my face that I left fingernail divots in my own skull.
Can I?
And anyway, that's this week's entry from Tales from the Crypt.
Can I just ask one thing, right?
You can ask. I'm not sure I'm going to know the answer.
No. All I'm going to... well, it's more of a statement than a question. I've been horribly ill this last week, and I had a coughing fit on Sunday that felt exactly like you've just described there. And I mean that quite literally. It felt exactly like you described there. Hands over the face.
She sounds a little bit like she's been punched.
Yeah, hands over the face, making noises like an animal, inhaling a breath, and it felt like I'd held it in for 10 minutes.
Oh, dear.
Knees trembling because I'm shaking so much.
Mm.
I mean, I say that. I think I've had a similar experience every time I go to Browntown.
Oh.
You know when you just feel like you're putting your whole body into it.
Yes.
I think maybe there's a bit of a soul that's gone out with that nasty burger. This is just that, isn't it?
Essentially, yes.
Oh, wow.
Who's next on the list?
Okay, well, Wolf. Our final runner-up. I'll admit I took just an accidental sneak peek at the last line, and this is a doozy. So this is from The Electric Hotel by Dominic Smith. In his anatomical speculations, Claude had never considered feet to be implicated in lovemaking, but here he was, grazing his lips against her silvery pale instep, while she murmured into her pillow. When she turned over, he retraced his steps, working back towards her head, getting a whispered bon or oui as he passed the russet, malty inlet of her groin, kissing each rib on his ascent. Malty inlet!
That's a long journey. Are you sure she wasn't asleep by the end of that?
Multi-inlet?
Yeah. It's kind of like there's a Nile Delta going on there, I feel.
Maybe just got lost on the way back and had to kind of stop off at the bar for a bit.
See, the way, you know, when you call it a multi-inlet, it makes it sound like, those power sockets that have multiple points.
Thinking power sockets.
With like USB ports and all sorts. So he's charging his iPhone. He's charging his iPhone while he's doing his business.
And anyway, that's all our runners up.
Right.
Which may seem like slim pickings this year, but that's because we have an unprecedented 2 winners this year in the Bad Sex Awards.
Wow. Are they copying the Booker Prize?
I think it's a deliberate bit of poke at the nose at that. So if we can have 2 Booker Prize winners, we can have 2 Bad Sex winners.
Yes.
So, first up, we have From Pax by John Harvey. I see it, he said. You are the female praying mantis, devouring her mate. I am. You are. I shall eat every shred of you, mouthful by mouthful. Exactly. Ah, but boy, you taste good. She licked her lips and pulled him close. But now he was clasping too. It was a kind of slow wrestling. They were knitting each other into a loose, slipping knot. He was upside down over her, loving her bush and lick-kissing, like eating her inner thighs. Till, at last, They loved fully, and later lay back. She did not chatter. Their arms stirred in luxurious, desultory twining.
Sorry about that noise in the background. There's a train passing through a tunnel.
Well, isn't that an apt metaphor? I mean, this is definitely a man who does not know what sex is and went to research it, but got immediately distracted by a documentary on bugs.
Yeah, he sounds like he's camping or something.
Because I mean, the praying mantis stuff, at least I understood.
Up to a point, yeah.
What's this knitting each other into a loose slipping knot?
Do you know what it sounds like?
What does that mean?
Do you know what it sounds like? Do you know when
scouting.
Do you know when the kids are looking at the bugs in the garden and they go, Daddy, what are those bugs doing? Right, because they're doing some weird stuff. Why are they doing that stuff with the legs? And Daddy goes, well, and then just makes up a load of crap.
Oh my God, this is Mummy and Daddy are just wrestling, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, special hugs.
Also, lick kissing is just a hell of a thing to put in there. I think that John Harvey, he's done that deliberately, knowing I had to read that out loud.
It sounds like somebody who's he eats a bit too much cheese, I think.
What the hell is lick kissing?
I think it's what it sounds like.
I'm trying to work it out in my head. No, it's still not working.
I mean, I understand the concept, but man, does phrasing it like that just make it sound horribly sloppy. Just literally just like
that's what's going on in my head is just like
I made myself uncomfortable making that sound.
Listeners, be grateful this isn't a video podcast.
I have to live with the knowledge of what my mouth was doing then.
I'm glad that we couldn't see.
Presumably, like, John Harvey has written other books. Is this the only one? I mean, is this like the only one where the sex is bad? Is the sex in his other books quite good? Is it like his books are like his partners, and he just sort of goes from somebody who's quite good to somebody who's just awful?
I mean, this is the eternal question of the Bad Sex Awards.
Yeah.
I have so many questions.
Is one of those questions, who's our other winner?
It is.
Well, that's the one I can answer.
Excellent.
Because it is Didier Decoyne's The Office of Gardens and Ponds. Would we like an extract?
Is this is this some weird French version of Parks and Recreation?
Oh no. Even better.
Is it
seems like it's set in Japan.
Oh wow.
I love the name.
Rummaging among the folds of Katsuro's kimono, she uncovered areas of naked flesh that she began to stroke with the tips of her fingers, with her lips, her tongue, and with a sweep of her hair, sleek and cool as the feathers of a crow, drawing her mouth close to the opening of the wide sleeve of the haori, footnote, a sort of jacket, that he wore over his kimono. She took hold of the fisherman's fingers, nibbled them, and sucked on them, coating them in a saliva so smooth that they became as slippery as if he had stuck them in a pot of honey, to the extent that he was then incapable of picking anything up.
And no doubt he tried a few objects around the place. Excellent. I like the footnote in the middle there, just to interrupt the flow.
I love it. Because I assume this must be taken verbatim from the book.
Also, like, her hair's flicking around and sort of stroking skin, and he says it's like a crow's wing or something, crow's feather.
Yes,
and
crows who are well known for their sleek and smooth feathers.
Yes, crows who are well known for their lovemaking technique.
Yeah.
He just like spends the afternoon just stroking crow's feathers over himself when his woman's not there.
I mean, God, I just love the idea of this woman with, like, her ratty, feather-encrusted hair. Just like repeatedly slapping it into this guy's face.
Well, I mean, we know the Japanese are into some weird stuff at times, but I mean, hell, that's a new one. I've never heard of anything like that.
It's not tentacles, Rob.
I don't know.
And just how much saliva does this woman produce? Which was literally coating a man's hand.
He's the most friction-free substance known to man.
Hang on, are
So
we
like
saying...
that in The Fly when Jeff Goldblum's trying to eat a donut and he just kind of regurgitates all over it.
Oh, God. Wow.
This massive blah. God, Bad Sex Awards is even better with sound effects.
Definitely. So we've only got 3 runners-up this year.
We do.
Didn't
And
we
you know
have
what?
10 last year?
Yeah, I feel like we did have a significantly more amount last
A
year.
longer list, yeah.
Also, I'm gonna make a bold statement.
Uh-huh.
Office of Gardens and Ponds definitely deserves it far more than PAX.
Yeah.
Oh, you think so?
I do think so.
Yeah,
Because PAX is just generically weird, not really understanding anatomy.
Mm.
But this is, I mean, the crow hair, the footnotes, the just gallons of saliva.
This is probably qualifying for the Bad Sex Award in the same way that that horror movie Ring freaked me out more than an ordinary horror movie because the language, the references, the context was just different, with it being set in the Far East.
So what you're saying is that Didier Decoyne, he's got such a masterful grasp of the language.
Yeah, and he's probably got a week to live.
Possibly.
Well, considering this came out quite a few days ago. Later days, Didier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, once again, another joyous offering from the Bad Sex Awards.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Right, so, time to move on.
Although, before we do, I should maybe say big thanks to Literary Review for continuing to do this. Because I know it brings us a lot of fun.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Guess what time it is, kids? It's time for that good time of the year again.
Yes, the only good bit of 2019.
Greg, where the hell did you come from?
I've just turned up to be given freebies.
Hang on, how the hell did you get in? That's my question. I have to let people into this place. Where the hell did you come from?
Yeah, I'm not going to disillusion you, Rob, but your fortress gates are not as secure as you may have thought, which I'm pretty sure is a line from one of the Bad Sex Awards nominees.
I was getting very worried there. My fortress gates.
Anyway, may I interject with a point from our learned colleagues? And that is presents.
Yes. It's democratically accountable Santa time where we give each other gifts with full awareness of who is giving them to who.
I just want to point out one thing, right? I have been horribly ill the last week. And so on Saturday...
An excuse for your choice of present.
No, it's not an excuse, okay? It's actually possibly more hilarious than that, right? I've been horribly ill the last week or so, and so I usually get multiple packages delivered to my address in any given day. And so I am very scared that I may have inadvertently on Saturday, when I was full of whatever has infected me, taken the wrong present and given it to Graham, who I am playing the host of Secret Santa to.
I hope it's a set of teaspoons.
So this could go catastrophically wrong for me.
I think we all know what we've got to save until last, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I just want to make that clear. I have been ill. That's my excuse. In case it isn't the thing that I bought for Graham.
Fair enough. Who wants to go first?
Anyone?
I can go first.
Okay.
So I was given my present by Graham,
Yes.
which has a card attached reading, "To Andrew, God help you, this is yours." So I'm very excited. Let's tear this bad boy open, by which I mean neatly unfold the wrapping paper.
Rip it off! Rip it off! Rip it off!
Right, okay, that's nice and neat. And trunk! I have got Carolyn Lanrington's The Land of the Green Man, a journey through the supernatural landscapes of the British Isles. Graham, this is a book that sounds rad as hell. What have you done? I gave you collectible spoons of the Third Reich. Why have you given me good book?
I know I broke the rules already.
This sounds more my kind of book, but Graham got me last year Being a Beast, all about a scientist who pretended to be an animal for just to see what it was like.
Yes, that's very true.
That was hilarious.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to have anything as great as a guy going through the Cairngorms with goat horns strapped to his forehead, but it does look pretty good.
It is. I like. There's a fun picture of a goblin on the back wearing a coat and doing what I can only describe as a fancy prance.
That sounds very good.
I think that's our word of the day. Fancy prance.
Fancy prance. Yeah.
All
definitely.
as one word.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely really excited to read this. Thank you, Graham.
Excellent. I fear we've started at a level we can't possibly sustain.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Sarah, since I gave you yours, do you want to go next?
Yes, I will do, yes. And we are...
Good audio content.
This is... Oh, nice! Ayawadi on top.
Nice!
Yes.
Yes!
Which is a book by Richard Ayoade. Possibly one of the most insubstantial people of our age. It says in here, I'm not saying that, and takes us on a journey from, and it's not true at all, takes us on a journey from Peckham to Paris by way of Nevada and other places we don't care about. It's it's a journey deep within Ayawadi in a way that's respectful and non-invasive, a journey for which we will all pay a heavy price, even if you've waited for the smaller paperback edition. Ayawadi argues for the canonization of View from the Top, a brutal masterpiece that celebrates capitalism in all its victimless glory. In short, to get to the bottom of Ayawadi, you need to get to the bottom of Top. Buckle up for the flight of your life. Oh, that looks mint.
I should also point out, View from the Top is a, I want to say, 90s romantic comedy starring Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes. She's an air hostess and she's dating Mark Ruffalo, but it's tough because air hostessing is hard. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, but on the other hand...
I see we have all seen that episode of Graham Norton.
Yes, I have. I realise I do cinema eclectica, but I am not at that stage of tragic film knowledge where you can just mention a Gwyneth Paltrow vehicle from the turn of the millennium and I'll have the cast list like that.
Cool. So this is about the making of that film, is it? What's it about?
No, it's a deep dive analysis into the themes and storyline and character beats of this, like, a bit crap 90s comedy. Yeah.
Oh my god, there's a quote from Jesse Eisenberg on the front. Ayawadi's funniest creation yet, and page for page the funniest book I've ever read.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's going to be mint. What a great present. Thank you. It's not rubbish at all.
You're very welcome. Also, I need to borrow it when you're done, because that was kind of why I bought it for you.
Yeah, can I just repeat that for Rob's present?
So, which basically cues me up. So, my turn. This basically just says Roberto from Sarah. So,
Nice.
it's nice to know. It's nice to know where people stand in the affections of the people. I'm at the level of office acquaintance. So, what is this? What is this? What? Oh, Sarah. Oh, yes. Oh, you.
Scared now.
Oh, yeah, Sarah.
This
yes.
is the clip I'm going to use as a thumbnail.
By the way, that's not me dying of illness again. That's me just absolutely
But in
loving.
a sense, I wish it was.
This is me absolutely loving what Sarah's got. Oh, seriously, of all of the things that she could have got me, this was not one of them. Okay, I went through all sorts of options as to what she could have got me, and this was not on the list at all. The Usborne Book of Ghosts, The World of the Unknown, Ghosts, all about ghosts.
Oh, we've been talking about this, haven't we? This is
Yes.
the one from the 70s.
Yes,
Yes.
Oh, yeah, nice.
with the foreword by Rhys Shearsmith as well.
Yeah, it's the updated version.
It's it's amazing. It's so old school. It's great. Oh my god. Oh wow.
So you can learn about like spooky manor houses and stuff.
Yeah.
And visit them.
I can learn all about Blackshock and the village with a dozen ghosts. Ghosts around the world.
This podcast has really lagged behind on doing most haunted style outside broadcasts from haunted houses, hasn't it?
Well, we have all the time in the world, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but counterpoint, you know how much I hate going outside.
There is that. Which basically leaves.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to
Should
roll the
we,
dice, Graham.
play
Let's
this
see.
game of Russian roulette.
Let's see. Is this the book I got you or not?
So this is wrapped in a lovely imitation Amazon parcel wrapping paper.
Keen attention to detail there. That's nice.
It's very cardboardy, good texture. Book is. Is this what you wanted to get me? There's so many questions. It's what I lick before your face. and other haikus by dogs.
Yes, that's the book I got you, Graham.
Oh my god, that's genius.
I bet you were all like on tenterhooks for that subheading, weren't you?
Yes, 100% yes.
Well, I was going through all of the things that that Graham was really into, and then I remembered how much you are a dog person. Right?
Absolutely.
And
yes.
I thought, and I'd just seen the title "What I Lick Before Your Face." I thought. You've got to treat us to a haiku now.
Yes, it's got off to a good start. The first one is simply entitled Homework, and it runs, I don't know that word, but I'm completely certain I didn't eat it. The back cover contains the what I guess is the title one, which runs, you may take my balls, but I will lick what remains. And then, dear, your face. I like it because it's got a touch of Braveheart at the start there. This is lovely and has lots of lovely pictures of good boys in it. So thank you very much for that, Rob.
I figured you'd like it. There is one amazing one in there, though, which I think is called Friendship. And it's the one that convinced me that this was the book that Graham deserves.
Right, I'll see if that one jumps out at me when we do our reviews of these in the new year, then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that about it for this year?
Yeah, that's about it for this year.
I think so.
That's it.
Fabulous. Is there just quick time for us to say anything we've been reading?
Oh, yeah, can do.
Yeah.
I've just finished Robert McFarlane's Underland, A Deep Time Journey, in which the world's most erudite man visits a variety of caves and anything else he can find under the ground. I kept waiting for the bit where he finds Jareth the Goblin King, but that is not in this book. It's densely written, full of information, incredibly evocative, sometimes tough going, but worth it if only for many fantastic rhapsodies about mycelium and underground mining vehicles and nuclear waste dumps that he goes on that I think only Robert McFarlane could produce.
I've just finished reading The Chemical Detective by Fiona Erskine, which was a good sort of like almost filmic epic journey between with a chemical engineer as the protagonist, Dr. Jackie Silver, and she blows things up to keep us safe, it says. And it's just a nice adventure, sort of international between Teesside and Slovenia, amongst other places, Chernobyl included. And it's a good read. Yeah, it's an exciting read. She's a good protagonist. So yes, I'd recommend that. And next up, I've just started Invisible Women, Exposing Data Bias in a World Designed for Men by Caroline Criado Perez.
Ah, right, yeah,
I've been
I've
wanting
heard
to
a lot
read
about
since it
this
came
book.
out.
Yeah.
It's fascinating so far. About the gender-structured world, sort of kind of pointing in the male direction.
Yeah, because I read an excerpt of that when it was first published in a newspaper, and I'd never thought of some of this stuff before. Like, apparently women are more likely to be injured in a car crash because the dummies they use for car safety tests are all shaped like men.
Yeah.
Which is remarkably simple when you think about it, but I'd never thought of it before.
Yeah. Like, that sounds like a ridiculously huge oversight now.
Yes.
So yes, it's things like that I've been reading the introduction so far, and just on every page I'm just going, oh flipping heck, oh flipping heck, oh flipping heck. Oh, that's why that happens.
Good flipping hecker.
Yeah. Andrew, Rob?
Yeah, I have been continuing to read. I think I mentioned it last time, but now I've kind of properly got into it. Dracula by Bram Stoker.
Dr.
Yes.
Dracula.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, it's surprising, perhaps no one, that Bram Stoker's horror classic. Pretty gosh darn good.
It is rather good, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I've just gotten up to the arrival of the Demeter, where it kind of sweeps into Whitby Bay in the middle of a catastrophic storm, and all that's on board is a giant black dog and a dead man chained to the wheel.
Wow.
But what haiku does that dog then recite?
I'm sure there's one in there for it.
Bibbidi Bud, I'm here for your blood.
Possibly. Yeah, for me, I have been rereading rather than reading. I was feeling nostalgic for something more traditional, more happier times, a bit more conservative, even though I'm going to vote Labour.
Yes. Hey.
So, yeah, I went back and I started rereading the Mars trilogy by Kim Stanley Robinson. I think they were originally published in the early 90s. There was Red Mars, Green Mars, and Blue Mars. And it's a story... it's one of those weird sci-fi stories that's ultimately more utopian than dystopian. And it deals a lot with... It deals a lot with the terraforming of Mars and how Mars becomes this kind of bastion of human civilization, but Earth, on the other hand, starts suffering from overpopulation and ecological disasters.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's the weird parallel that the rising of Mars is the falling of Earth, but
Yeah.
at the center of it all is this unspoken idea that if we'd never gone to terraform Mars and poured all our resources into planet Earth instead, we could have actually saved the planet.
Elon
Yes,
Musk take
I
note.
will offer a counterpoint, though,
Hmm.
that I think the theme of the book is that you need to get your ass to Mars. That was a total recall reference.
I was gonna go. I was gonna go one step further and say, yeah, because we left him there on the last run, and he's sitting there growing potatoes from his own poop.
Good old poop potatoes.
Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
What a point to end the year on. We literally killed Rob.
What have you done?
Rob. It was always on the cards.
I think for sure next year. Jeez.
Don't eat the potatoes.
I think for sure next year definitely starts with Rob just yelling, the children of the night, what sweet.
So,
Right?
yeah, that's us for this year. I'm going to forego the usual messages. You've heard them enough if you're listening to this episode. So instead, we will wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and we'll see you all in 2020.
Bye.
Oh, and thanks for listening. It's been a while, and it's been a long day.